Okay, test review, we're going to start out with questions from the homework from any of the sections. And the first question, what was it again?
Number 66 on 2.7.
2.7, number 66, that's on page 208. Okay, number 66. Let's make it bigger so we can read it better here. Okay, number 66 is 18 minus 6y minus 4y is less than 63 plus 5y. Okay, do y'all have your solution thing out? You're solving equations? Get it out so we follow the steps. Solving equations. So the first step was if there's any parentheses to distribute it through.
There's no parentheses.
Okay. There's no parentheses, right? Here's your steps. If there are any parentheses, distribute the number on the outside through the parentheses. There's not any parentheses. Next step, combine like terms on each side. Is there any like terms?
The 6y and 4y.
Right, negative 6 and negative 4
Would be
on the
negative
y's.
10.
Would be negative 10y. Write everything else down. Okay, now that we've done that step, number 3, decide which side you want the variable on. Then you're going to add or subtract to get it to that side. So which side do you want the variable on?
The left side.
You want to add 10y or would you like to subtract 5?
Subtract 5.
You want to subtract 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's not on that side anymore, so you still have the 18, negative 10, and a negative 5.
Negative 15.
Negative 15y. Sign's still the same because you just subtracted. You didn't multiply or divide by negative. Okay, now that we've got the y on one side, you need to do the plus or minus on the number to get it to the other side. You want to leave the variable, so you want to plus or minus the number. It's positive, so you want to subtract it. Subtract 18 from both sides. You still have a negative 15y is less than, you need to borrow, 13 minus 8 is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, and then we're going to do multiply or divide to get the variable by itself. So we're going to divide by negative 15. Now what's that going to do?
Y is less than negative 3.
It's going to change the sign. Dividing by negative is going to change the sign. Okay, it leaves the y by itself. Instead of less than, it's greater now. Positive divided by negative is negative. And how many times?
3.
3. So there's your answer. If we had taken it to the other side, we would have had to flip sides. If right here we had decided to add 10, we'd have had the y on this side, and we would have had to flip sides.
And how about question 71?
Okay. 71 on the same section
Yeah.
is y over 5 plus 1 is less than or equal to 2/5. Okay, you can play with fractions if you'd like. If you don't like fractions, the easy way to get rid of fractions is multiply every term by the common denominator. Common denominator is 5, right? Let's multiply everything by 5 so that we get rid of our fractions right away. These cancel, and these will cancel. So this leaves you y plus 5 times 1 is 5, is less than or equal to 2. Then all you have to do is subtract 5.
You don't multiply the top part of it by 5, just the bottom?
We did all of the 5. We did all of them by 5, but these two canceled because they had 5s in the bottom.
Okay.
This would be 5y over 5, which would come out to this y. Okay, we get to here, we're just going to subtract 5. Subtracting does not change the direction. So our sign is still less than or equal. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. You want to do another fraction one? You didn't have any others that you had to do, but we could do another fraction one. And there'll probably be some on the review anyway. So you want to do it now or wait? Well, we can wait for the review. Make sure we do the fraction problems on the review. Yes, sir.
Please do number 26, not
2.6, 26? Yeah. Okay, that's page 195, 2.6. It's a word problem. It has to do with the triangle. It's right here. A rancher needs to form a triangular horse pen using ropes next to a stable. It says the second angle is 3 times the first angle. Okay, they put an X here, so this is our first angle. Our second angle, they have right here. They have 3x already. And then it says the third angle is 15 less than the first. They went ahead and put that here, x minus 15. So let me draw this just like it is in the book. And all you do is find all three numbers. Okay, they called this our first, second, and third. Our first was x. The second was 3 times x. And the third angle was 15 less than the first angle. And what do these 3 angles add up to? 180. So you have x plus 3x plus x minus 15. That's your 3 angles. Add up to 180. Get it where you can see it better. Okay, so we have 3, 4, 5. 5x minus 15 equals 180. So what's the next step? The plus or minus, right? Add 15. So 5x equals 195. Divide by 5. X equals 15, 37. So the first angle is 37 degrees. The second angle is 3 times that, 3x. So 37 times 3, 111. And then our third angle is x minus 15. So it's 37 minus 15.
Excuse me,
Yes,
isn't it 39?
could be. Let's see, 15, 45, yes. Yeah, I did it in my head and I did it wrong. 5 into 19 is 3. And I was bringing 3 down instead of 4. That's why I got a 7. Yes, 39. Thank you. So 39, 3 times 39 will be a different number here. Is 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, so just the last number is different. 117. And then 39 minus 15, 24. And to make sure you didn't do something like I did, you add all these up to make sure they add up to 180. make sure there wasn't a mistake in something. So you got 39, 17, 117, and 24. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it came out. So that's the three angles right there.
How about problem 93 on 27, page 209?
2.7, number 93.
Skill maintenance. and-
That will be page 209.
Yes.
97?
93.
Oh, 93. I was gonna say we didn't do 97, but, okay, 93, okay. That's a long one. Okay, 5 minus 3 squared plus, parenthesis, 8 minus 2 squared times 4. And the answer's supposed to be 140, so let's see if we can get that. Start with what?
Parentheses.
Parentheses, 8 minus 2,
6.
so that's going to be 6 squared. Okay, what's the thing after parentheses? Exponents. So 5 minus 3 times 3,
9.
6 times 6,
36.
and what's after exponents? Multiply and divide. Left to right, so that's the next one. 36 times 4, 12, 144, right? And what's next? Do we add next?
5 minus 9 is negative
Right.
4.
Add and subtract from left to right, so we start with this one. 5 minus 9 is negative 4, plus 144,
Which means 140.
that comes out to our answer, 140. Okay? Are there any more questions before we start the review? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. It's a long review, but I'm not going to do every single problem with you. Because there's too many of them that will probably take too long. What we'll do is see 1 through 8. All of that is using the addition principle. That means you're going to either add or subtract for both sides. The addition principle. Don't think that you're always adding when it says addition principle, okay? Don't let that confuse you. That means you're adding or subtracting. So look on the side where the variable is and see what you need to add or subtract. First one, 17 equals negative 12 plus x. We make that bigger. Okay, negative 12 plus x, what are we going to do to both sides?
Add 12.
Yeah, we're going to add 12 to get rid of that negative 12. So adding 12 to both sides. So x is on this side, 17 plus 12, 29. And I almost covered up the answer. And your answers are on the very last page. Answer number 1 is A. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do number 6. We'll skip down all the way down to number 6. 1/3 plus x equals 11. What are you going to do to both sides?
Subtract 1/3.
Subtract 1/3. Minus 1/3. So you have 11 minus 1/3. You need to borrow, right? Borrow from 11, make it 10, and make 3/3 over here. So we have something to subtract from. 3/3 minus 1/3 is 2/3. So you have 10 and 2/3. But our answers are all improper. So you could change that to improper, or you could have done it a different way where you turn this improper. This would be 30 plus 2 is 32, right? is 32/3. I don't want you to leave your answer improper though. If you have this problem on your test, leave it 10 2/3. You most likely will not have multiple choice on this part. Okay? So just leave it 10 2/3. Number 7 is another fraction one. So what are we going to do with that? Sorry. You're going to subtract 5/12, right? So minus 5/12. You need to get a common denominator. 3/4 minus 5/12, right? 12 is your common denominator. This stayed the same, so this stays the same. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. So you have 9 minus 5 is 4/12. If you have that answer, make sure you reduce it. The simplest terms. Divide by 4 would be 1/3, right? So that's the C answer. Okay, I'm not going to do number 8. You can do that on your own. Let's go to the next section. It says multiplication principle. What does that mean you'll be doing? Multiplying or dividing. Just like the add was add or subtract. Okay, the first one, negative 7x equals negative 35. What are you going to be doing? Divide by negative 7, right? So negative divided by negative? Our answer will be positive 5, right? So 10 you'll be dividing by negative 2, right? Okay, what about 11? The variable was divided by 8. You're going to multiply by 8, right? The opposite of what was done to the variable. Multiply by 8. Positive 8 times negative 6. Negative 48. Okay, that's the first page. Number 12. Let's get it where you can see it. Okay, this says it was divided by negative 2. There's 2 different ways you could do this. You could do it in one step, or you could take 2 steps. You can either multiply both sides by negative 2, and you're still going to have this negative on top, or you can look at it like it's, like there's a 1 up here in front of the x, and there's a negative and a negative here. So you could look at it like this problem and say the 2 negatives are positive, so it must be 1/2 x equals negative 9. Now you could multiply by 2. That's one way to do it, okay? Look at it as 1/2 x equals negative 9. So x equals negative 18. The other way to look at it, get a paper here. Okay, if you want to just start, look at it like we're going to get rid of the bottom first. You want to multiply by negative 2 on both sides. Okay, that cancels. You still have a negative x. Negative times negative is positive 18. And then you can divide by negative 1. Or multiply by negative 1. You just need to multiply or divide by negative, so it'll turn into positive x. So this is negative 18. That's the same thing we got when we turned it into the 1/2 x. We still got the negative 18. Okay? So number 13 is similar. Where you can see it here. You have a 3/4 x equals 9. Okay, what do we want to multiply by or divide, or what do we want to do here? You could either multiply by 4 and just get rid of the 4, or we could multiply by the reciprocal and we'll get rid of both of them at the same time. That'll make it be one step instead of two. So we have 12 over 12. This cancels into 1. 1x is x. And then here we could divide by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. So we have 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? So number 14, you have negative 2/5 s equals negative 1/3. What do we want to multiply by?
5/2.
What about the negative?
Negative 5/2.
Yeah, let's multiply by the negative also. Multiply by the reciprocal, which keeps the sign. Okay, so this turns into positive 1, yes. Negative times negative is positive. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 2 is 6. So it's 5 over 6. And number 15,
0.
that's going to be 0, huh? When you multiply each side, both sides times 8, 8 times 8 here, times 8 here, 0 times 8 is 0. So 15 is just 8. 15 is just 0. Okay, now they're getting a little bit harder. We're going to do 2 steps here. We already have the variable on one side, so all we're going to do is do the add, subtract, and then the multiply or divide. So you have 10r plus 3 equals 73. So what do you do first? Subtract 3. So you have 10r equals 70. So divide by 10. R equals 7. Okay? I'm going to let you do 17, 18, 19. You can do all those pretty easy. We'll go ahead and do a fraction with number 20. 1/3 f minus 3 equals 1. What is the first thing you're going to do here? Add 3. 1/3 f equals 4. What can you do now? Multiply by the reciprocal. Oops, never slip it up there. Times 3 over 1, right? So this is just f equals 4 over 1 times 3 over 1. It's just 12, right? 12 over 1 is just 12. Since that was a fraction, we could have done the multiplying if you wanted to. How there's a 3 down here, we could have multiplied everything by 3 first if you wanted. Let me do it that way here. 1/3 f minus 3 equals 1. Okay, we could have did everything times 3. The only thing that cancels is this first one. That ends up with f minus 9 equals 3. And then you would have added 9 to both sides. Either way, you're going to come out with 12. So you could do that either way and get the right answer. Okay, the next problem. Go do it two ways also. You can pick which way you like. You got 1x plus 1/4 x equals 25. Okay, before we do any multiplying, we have x plus 1/4 x equals 25. What's the coefficient here?
Add, add 1.
Yeah, the coefficient is 1. So 1 plus 1/4.
1 and 1/4.
Okay, we're combining our x's. 1 and 1/4 is,
20.
what is 1 and 1/4? 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1, 5 4ths. X equals 25. Okay, so we really don't want to do that where we multiply the whole thing, do we? Let's just do the reciprocal and we'll be done. 4/5, 4/5. So this is just x equals, we could do 100 divided by 5, or we could divide by 5 first here. Let's divide by 5, divide by 5. 5 times 4, 20. So there's our answer. Okay, number 22, we're starting to get into where the problems aren't all variable on one side. So see how we have t's on both sides? Negative 6t plus 4 equals 10 plus 5t. So there's no parentheses, which is your first step. Combine like terms? No. Third step, decide which side you want the variable on. Would you like to add 6 or subtract 5? Let's add 6, it'll keep it positive, right? Okay, leave 4. 10 plus, what is that? 11t. Okay, now you do the add or subtract. Subtract the 10. Subtract the number that doesn't have the variable. So negative 6 equals 11t. Now what do we do? Divide by 11. It's 11t. You're going to divide by 11. Okay? So t equals negative 6 over 11. That doesn't reduce. That was one of your answers on there. It's D right here, negative 6/11. So if it doesn't come out even, don't freak out because there may be some fraction answers. Okay, 23. You have negative 6 b plus 1 plus 4b equals negative 3b plus 6. No parentheses. Are there like terms? This side of the equal sign has 2b, so let's combine these. Negative 6, positive 4. Negative 2b. The 1 doesn't combine with anything. So that was all we got to do there. Okay? Now decide which side you want the variable on. You want to add 2 or add 3b? Add 3? Okay, we'll add 3. That's going to make it a positive. Negative 2 plus 3, positive 1, right? 1b plus 1 equals 6. 1b is just b, right? So we don't have to write the 1 in front of it. Okay, plus 1, we want to subtract 1 from both sides. So just b equals 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay, that's the end of that page. Okay, here's some fraction ones. You can either do it as this as a fraction, where you multiply everything by 3, or you could do the plus 3 to both sides first. Okay, let's just do plus 3 to both sides. So subtracting 3, let's add 3. That looks like the same one we just did. 1 plus 3 is 4. And then we're going to multiply by 3 over 1. 3 over 1 is 12. Okay, let's do another fraction one. This fraction one looks like it would be easier if we multiply by the reciprocal, huh? Number 25. We have 2 over 5, 2 over 5, 2 fifths x, minus 1/3 x equals 2. Okay, instead of adding those fractions, let's turn them to whole numbers. Let's multiply by the common denominator. 15. Okay, the 5 and 15 can divide by 5, turns that into 3. This 3 and 15 will divide by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Now it's 5. Okay, so now we have 3 times 2 is 6x. 5 times 1, 5x. What do we put here? Minus, yeah. Equals 15 times 2, 30. 6x minus 5x. 1x. So it's just x, right? So that's already solved right there. Okay. Do you want to do another one of these, or do you want to do those on your own? One more maybe? Let's do number 26 and you'll be able to do, oh, this one you don't combine them, but you could still get rid of them. You could still multiply by 3 to make that whole numbers. Let's leave number 26 for you to do, and we'll do number 27. 1/3 a minus 1/3 equals negative 5. Okay, let's divide or multiply everything by 3. And that cancels this one. So you just have a. You have 1a. This is a. Minus, if you cancel this one, you just have 1. Equals 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So you can add 1, and you'll have a. A equals negative 15 plus 1 is negative 14, right? Okay? And decimals, this one right here, you have negative 2.4 cubed. Get where we can read it. Negative 2.4 cubed equals negative 14.3 minus 1.1 cubed. We don't have any parentheses. We don't have anything that is like terms. So which side do we want our variable on? Okay. Since we already have just that here, let's not take it over there and leave 0 here. Let's go ahead and bring this one, the 1.1, to this side. That way we still have a number on one side and a variable on one side. So we have negative 2.4 plus 1.1. It'll be negative, and you have to subtract. Sign of the larger and then subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. So you have negative 1.3q equals negative 14.3. So we'll divide by negative 1.3. So q equals 11? Is that right? Okay. So that would be C right there. Okay, let's go ahead. I'll let you work on this one right here. Make sure that you take your letters to one side, your numbers to the other. Variables on one side. Okay, and work that one. How about number 30? We have 6x minus 5 plus 8x minus 6 equals 8x plus 6x plus 11. Wow, barely fits. Okay, so we have stuff we can, there's no parentheses, we have things we can combine. Combine like terms. 6x plus 8x, 14x. Negative 5 minus 6, negative 11. 8x plus 6x, 14x. And then plus 11 is all by itself. Okay. Now we're going to see which side we're going to subtract 14, right? Subtract 14x. It gets rid of the x on both sides, doesn't it? So we have negative 11 equals 11. Okay, this is one of those special solutions. You're either going to come up with no solution or all real numbers. Which one is this? No solution or all real numbers?
No solution.
Because it's not the same, it's no solution. If they had been the same, it would have been all real numbers. This is no solution. Okay. The next one. Negative 5 plus x equals x minus 5. Okay, we try to get the x on one side. We're going to subtract x. It's going to get rid of both x's, right? So we have negative 5 equals negative 5.
All real numbers.
All real numbers. So if the x's cancel out, you're going to either have all real numbers or no solution. So we have two more that will be like that. These two right here is going to be either an all real number or no solution for 32 and 33. Okay, number 34. We have some parentheses we need to work. 4, 2z minus 5 equals 7 parentheses z plus 2. We have parentheses on both sides. So first thing, get rid of your parentheses. Distribute your outside number through. 4 times 2 is 8z. Is this minus 5? Somebody say no. It's minus 20. 4 times 5. Okay. 7 times z. Is this plus 2?
Plus 14.
Good. Plus 14. Okay, now decide which side you want your variable on. want to subtract 8 or subtract 7? Subtract 7, okay. 8 minus 7 is 1z. Minus 20 equals 14.
Plus 20.
Plus 20.
Z equals 34.
1z is z. 34. Okay? Z equals 34. Okay, number 35, I'll let you do 35 and 36. You only have to get rid of one parenthesis there. 37, that's a little bit tricky with the parenthesis. We'll go ahead and do that one together, because it has the minus there. 7x minus parenthesis 2x minus 1. Parenthesis equals 2. So you're going to minus both things. It's going to change the sign of both things inside the parentheses. So you have minus 2x, minus negative 1 will be a plus 1. Okay, 7x minus 2x, 5x plus 1 equals 2. So what do we do next? Subtract 1. 5x equals 2 minus 1 is 1. Divide by 5. Your answer is not 5. Your answer is 1/5. Don't change it into 5. It's not the same thing. Okay, so you're going to have the same thing here, minus 6x and then plus 1. Make sure you have it minus 6x and then a plus 1 there. The number on the outside here, you're just going to multiply it through. 5 times 7x minus 1 equals 20 would be 35x minus what? 5. You're multiplying 5 times 1. And what do we do next? Add 5. 35x equals 25. So divide by 35. And that can reduce, right? Divide by 5. It's 5 over 7. Okay, I'll let you do number 40. Read similar. 41 is a little bit of stuff mixed up, so let's go ahead and do that one. We have 4 bracket 3 minus 3 parenthesis x plus 1 parenthesis bracket plus 1 equals 2 parenthesis negative 27 minus x plus 2x plus 27. Okay, make it where we can see the whole thing. Okay, working inside the parentheses first. So inside the brackets, you're going to do the parentheses inside the brackets. We're going to do that first. Leave the 4 on the outside, and you're leaving the brackets till you're done. Multiply negative 3, not just the 3. Minus 3x, and then minus 3 times 1. So that'd be negative 3, minus 3. Rewrite this. We can go ahead and multiply this now. It's not going to have anything to do with that, so let's go ahead and multiply the 2 through. 2 times negative 27 is negative 54. Then 2 times negative 1 would be minus 2x. And then bring these parts down. Plus 2x plus 27. We have a 3 minus 3 here, inside here. Combining like terms, 3 minus 3 is 0. So all that's left inside the parentheses is negative 3x. Bring plus 1 down. Here we can combine negative 2x and plus 2x. That's 0, right? So that goes away. So all you have left is the negative 54 plus 27. What is negative 54 plus 27? Negative 27?
Yeah.
Okay. Multiply this.
Bless you.
Negative 12x plus 1 equals negative 27. Okay, what do we do next? Subtract 1, right? Negative 12x equals, combining two negatives, add, keep the negative and add. 27 and 1 is 28. Okay, so now we have divide by negative 12. Negative 28 divided by negative 12 does not come out even, does it? What can we divide by? 2, 4? 4 is probably the biggest one, right? Negative divided by negative is going to be a positive answer, isn't it? So let's make it positive. 28 divided by 4 is 7. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 7/3 should be one of your answers, which it is. I don't think you're going to have one that hard on your homework, on your test.
Promise?
I'm almost sure it's not on there. I'm not positive, but I'm almost sure it's not. I have the test made, but I haven't got rid of all the multiple choice stuff yet. Because they're not all going to be multiple choice. If that one is on there, it'll be a multiple choice, so you can see if you have the right answer, okay? If that hard of a one is on there, I'll leave it multiple choice. Okay, 42. Perimeter is 2 times length plus 2 times the width. So the length is 5, the width is 9. So you're just solving it. 2 times 5, 2 times 9. 10 plus 18. And it said these were in inches, right? So you have 28 inches. They're not square inches. Perimeter is just how far it is around it. It's just inches. Okay. Here's one. D equals RT. That's distance equals rate times time. Okay. The rate is 57 miles an hour. The time is 5 hours. So you just do the R times the T, right? R times T. So, huh? 285? And it's miles. This is miles per hour. The hours cancel. So that gives you how many miles. $44. You have a formula given right here. Big N is the number of games played. Okay. Little n is how many teams. Okay. Total of n games. And it doesn't tell you that little n is the number of teams, but that's what it is. Okay, the big N, number of games. N squared minus N. It says there's 12 teams, so you put 12 where the little n is. 12 squared minus 12. So you'd have 12 times 12 is 144 minus 12. 144 minus 12 is 132. So they would be playing 132 games. That would be, if there were 12 teams and they all played each other twice, then they would be playing 132 games. And there's a few of these to practice where you solve for the letter. I know that y'all probably need some more practice on that, right? So you can practice on these. A equals 1/2 BH. This happens to be solving for H. It could be solving for anything though. It could have been solving for B. Still going to be the same steps, so. Okay, solve for H. We want to get H alone. Let's get rid of that fraction first. How do you get rid of 1/2? Multiply by 2, or 2 over 1. Multiplying by the reciprocal, which is 2. So this gets rid of the 1/2. So you have BH left on this side. You have 2A on that side. How are we going to get H by itself? This is multiplied. Divided by B on both sides. So H is 2A over B. So that would have been D right here. Okay? Solving this one for H, you're going to have to multiply by 3. Okay, first, and then you'll divide by B. How about solving for R? That's not hard at all, is it? Just subtract S. S plus R, so just subtract S from this. So you have A plus B, and then you'll have minus S. Okay, I think there's some more. I tried to put, yeah, there's another one. The Fahrenheit one. Solve for C. Let's go ahead and do that one together. Okay. Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times C plus 32. First thing you would do is to subtract 32. You want to get the variable by itself, right? So subtract 32. So we have F minus 32 equals 9/5 C. Okay? What do we do to get rid of that fraction? Multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, not just the F, the whole thing. Times 5/9. So you have C equals 5/9 times F minus 32 parentheses. And that would be D. Okay. How about some percentage problems? You're going to put, if you use the is over of, you can do it the other way that it said in the book, but this is over of, you could do it the same way every time. Is over of equals percent over 100. Okay? So set you up a proportion and just fill in the blanks. Number 49. What is? You don't know the is. There's your percent is 39, and there's your of. The is, you don't know. X is on top. The of that goes on bottom is 1343. The percent is 39, and put that over 100. So multiply 39 times 1343, divide by 100. If you do it this way, you don't have to do any moving of the decimals. You'll always come out with the right answer without moving decimals. So what's the answer to that one? You remember?
B.
523.77.
By 23.77. Okay. No moving the decimals. 20% of what? You don't know the of this time. You know the is. The is goes over the of. Percent goes over 100. The percent is 20. Multiply 71 times 100, divide by 20. 7100 divided by 20 is what? 355. Okay? So I'll leave those for you to do on your own. These you just put it in there. So those all you don't know the is or the of on all those. On the next part you don't know the percent. And that's why this says round to the nearest tenth of a percent, because it may come out with a lot of numbers after the decimal. So you can still use the same formula. Is over of equals percent over 100. Is 19 of 2420. Okay, so 19 times 100 divided by 2420. What do you come out with? Is anybody done that one? Okay, number 55. What'd you get? 0 point what?
785.
785. What did it say to round it to?
There's
10th of a percent. So it's 0.8% would be your answer on that one, which is the D answer. Okay? So that's what you're going to do with all the percent ones right here. You just don't know the percent part. Okay, now we have a few word problems, but don't let word problems freak you out. Okay, the parking lot at a grocery store has 50 cars in it. 30% are blue. How many cars are blue? 30%, right? 30% of what? Of the 50 is how many are blue, right? So still set it up in your is over of. Is, you don't know. This is a B for blue. Of is 50. Your percent's 30. Put it over 100. 30 times 50 is 1,500 divided by 100. So there's 15 cars that are blue. So that's your C answer right there. A chemical solution has 7% salt. How much salt is in 4.5 milliliters? 7% of the total solution is salt. Okay, what part do we know? We know that how much total solution there is, right? Of the total. This is our total solution. So that's of is the 4.5 milliliters. So we need to set up our proportion. Our of is a 4.5 milliliters. milliliters. Is, we don't know. That's how much salt is in there. 7 is our percent, goes over 100. So 7 times 4.5 divided by 100. 31.5?
Yeah.
Try again. There's only 4.5 milliliters. 3.15?
31.5.
7 times 4.5 is 31.5?
Yes.
You need to divide that by 100.
0.315.
0.3. Yeah. 0.315 milliliters. Look at number 60, it should be B. Yeah. Okay, Sarah left a tip. 15% tip of $4.65 per meal. What is the cost of the meal before the tip? Okay, 15% of what is what? 15% of the meal is the tip she left, right? 15% of the meal is the tip. What is $4.65? That's the tip, right? 15% of $4.65 for a meal. She doesn't know the cost of, we don't know the cost of the meal. So we don't know the meal, we know the tip is $4.65. We know the is, we don't know the of. 15 goes over 100. So do 4.65 times 100 divided by 15. 31 even?
Yep.
$31 even. So when you're doing word problems that have that in there, put it into that. This percent of this is this, and then you'll know where to put it.
Bless you.
Bless you. Okay, Jennifer's annual salary increased from $24,000